Okay, so today is January 1st, 2024. It's the 20th day of the 10th month in Enoch calendar. Tomorrow, the second and the third Wednesday, are high watch time for rapture. It's the 21st day of the 10th month in Enoch calendar from tomorrow the 2nd to the Wednesday the 3rd. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank um, my viewer JD Rachel. She told me that the Japanese government just issued the highest level of tsunami warning because there was a series of earthquakes hit Japan around 5 p.m. local time. And so the highest magnitude that hit Japan was 7.6, but they always downgrade the magnitude. So I would guess it was around 8 to 8.5 magnitude. And then now they lower the tsunami warning, so they dropped the highest level tsunami warning. And who knows, right? It's unpredictable, even though they say they can predict earthquakes. And we've been waiting for the tsunami. Even like, okay, so all this time people just aware of the tsunamis in the U.S. West and East Coast, but actually, there will be tsunami in Japan. The whole Japan will be sink into the ocean. So the whole Japan will like disappear. And then the tsunami will be in Europe, like UK, France, Italy, and then I think in Asia, like Southeast Asia, like around India and um, area. Also, anyway, so Japan is tied to um, Hawaii and the West Coast in the U.S., which is the San Francisco Bay Area and LA. So the tsunami either from Japan or from Hawaii that will hit U.S. West Coast. So that's that, and hopefully this is it. Because I think that the whole 2023 was a final setting stage for the domino effects to begin, and that's what I feel right now. So, okay, so yesterday I talked about the book of Jeremiah, and actually I have some scriptures that I want to share with you guys from the book of Jeremiah. And right now I want to discuss Jeremiah 23. I will start 23:11. False prophets denounced. For both prophets, priests are profane. Yea, in my house have I found their wickedness, saith the Lord. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on, and fall therein. For I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, saith the Lord. And I have seen folly in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesied in Baal and caused my people Israel to err. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem an horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none doeth return from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts concerning the prophets: Behold, I will feed them with wormwood, and make them drink the water of gall. For from the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness gone forth into all the land. So I've noticed that in the Bible, God mentioned wormwood a few times. So this is one of the times that he mentioned wormwood. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own hearts, and not out of the mouth of the Lord. They say still unto them that despise me. The Lord hath said, Ye shall have peace. And they say unto every one that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you. For those have stood in the counsel of the Lord, and have perceived and heard his word, who had marked his word and heard it. Behold, a whirlwind of the Lord is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of the Lord shall be returned, until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel, and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way, and from the evil of their doings. Am I a God at hand, saith the Lord, and not a God afar off? Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him? Saith the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth? Saith the Lord. I have heard what the prophets said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamt, and I have dreamt. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophecy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his labor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. The prophet that had a dream, let him tell a dream, and he that had my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, saith the Lord? Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that steal my words every one from his neighbor. Behold, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that use their tongues and say, he saith, Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lies. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith the Lord. And when this people, or the prophet, or a priest, shall ask thee, saying, What is the burden of the Lord? Thou shalt then say unto them, What burden? I will even forsake you, saith the Lord. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say the burden of the law, I will even punish that man and his house. Thus shall ye say every one to his neighbor, and every one to his brother, What hath the Lord answered, and what hath the Lord spoken? And the burden of the Lord shall ye mention no more. For every man's word shall be his burden. For ye have perverted the words of the living God, of the Lord of hosts, of our God. Thus shalt thou say to the prophet, What hath the Lord answered thee, and what hath the Lord spoken? But since ye say, The burden of the Lord, therefore thus saith the Lord, because ye say this word, the burden of the Lord. And I have sent unto you, saying, You shall not say, the burden of the Lord. Therefore, behold, I will utterly forget you, and I will forsake you, and the city that I gave you, and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. And I will bring an everlasting reproach unto you, and upon you, and a perpetual shame which shall not be forgotten. So I just want to point out that a lot of false prophets, especially on YouTube, I think there are a lot on TikToks also, I'm sure. So they say they heard the Lord say um, something, right? And then they actually lie. They make things up. The things that they tell their followers are the things that made it up, right? And also, they didn't have the dreams, but they said that they had the dreams from the Lord. So again, they make up a dream and made a video. So and then so clearly, like God warned us that there will be false prophets to make things up and disguise as genuine prophets that receive dreams, prophecies from God, but actually they were doing it for themselves, most likely for money, or they are actually the control opposition to spread lies. So I have one example is from a YouTuber. When I look at his the number of the followers, he didn't have that many followers. So and then he said that one of the YouTubers, that YouTuber had a lot of followers. Um, the one that had a lot of followers not copied, stole the information from the lesser followers YouTuber and then claim those information were from God. He received those information from God. So to ask for money as well as like gain more viewers, right? So when I look at the information published, actually the it's true. The fewer followers YouTuber actually published that information way before the YouTuber that had tons of followers. So that is what it is right here. God warned us that in Jeremiah 23, false prophets will, either steal information from other people or make things up that said they got it from God and they prophesied, right? So the YouTuber that had a lot of followers, he's been asking money from the viewers and saying, he's very poor and he had like I don't remember how many children he had. He say I think it's like two or three. So he's been asking money and he's been like claiming the information that he stole from other YouTubers. He claiming that God told him that. So you know this is just one of the examples. There are tons of YouTubers. They are either control opposition, spreading lies, or like deceitfully ask people to donate quote unquote donate money to them because they lost their jobs, or their family needs money, or he's really sick and he needs money, etc. All those excuses to scam people's money. And I think it's a video that right after Christmas I mentioned that particular YouTuber, initial JK. He keeps saying that this world, this earth, and everything on this earth were created by the fallen angels. So that already, he already gave away his identity. He's a control opposition. He spread lies and, to lead you to believe in the lies that you are. That's what the God said here in Jeremiah 23. And then he said that we all were angels, and then we were here now to, fight against, just to wake up and hopefully go back to heaven. So, which means he, to him, we are fallen angels. That's bullshit. There's no way we are fallen angels because humans were created by God, not the fallen angels. He said we were created by the fallen angels. So that's another major red flag, right? First of all, we were not angel when Adam and Eve were in heaven. Adam and Eve were a different beings in heaven, not angels. There are not a lot of different beings in heaven. Okay. So then now, okay, first of all, he said we were angels. That's false. Second of all, he said the fallen angels created everything on earth. That's false because fallen angels, they don't have the ability to create. God was the only one. God is the only one have the ability to create things. And then third of all is he said Elohim means the fallen angels. That's not true. Elohim actually is mean God, and then fallen angel is benign Elohim, the sons of God. So we all sons and daughters of God. So he just used online Bible to look up the meaning of the word Elohim. Elohim, there's several meanings, and the major meaning is God. Then the lesser meaning is fallen angel, gods. It's like small g. Didn't say fallen angel, but then how do you know that word Elohim is definitely meaning fallen angels, right? So if you really want to understand each word in the Bible, you really need to study. I think it's ancient Hebrew, or I don't know the uh, current Hebrew. I don't think it's the current Hebrew that because the ancient Hebrew was the one of the languages that they wrote the Bible. So you need to study ancient Hebrew, Greek, and then you need to study Latin, and all other ancient languages to really understand the vocabularies, right? So you just based on your feeling, you thought that the small g is representing fallen angels, but the direct translation is God, the big G, God. So so that's what I wanted to point out because, God already warned us through Jeremiah, those false prophets.